Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Andre and I've been asked by Rich to make you a short video on how to clean and care for your Billetspin tops. So you just received your Billetspin top in the mail, and as you can see they are all nice and shiny, but you will notice after a few weeks of use that copper is going to become dull, and over time the top will become darker and darker. So today I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on firstly how to prevent that from happening, but also if it already happened, how to bring your top back to its original shine. Before I start, just a quick disclaimer: there's many different methods of cleaning tops. What I'm going to show you today is what I find works best for me. If you want to add anything or you disagree, please feel free to leave comments at the bottom. So firstly, let's quickly talk about why it is necessary to clean your top in the first place. What happens is that copper will react with the oxygen in the air, and over time it will form a layer which we call a patina. That is what gives it the dull color, and that is what I'm going to show you today how to get rid of. Any metal that contains copper will do this. This kraken has some bronze in it. The patina will form a little bit slower than pure copper, but it will still do it. And also any top that contains brass will do exactly the same thing. You will also notice that the patina will form faster on the parts of the top that you actually touch than the parts on the inside of the top which you normally don't touch. The reason for that is that the oil on your fingers will actually speed up that patina process. On the other hand, if you look at the top made of stainless steel or titanium, like the stem on this PVC, they will not oxidize with air and they will not form a patina over time. So now that you know what happens to the top and why you need to clean it, let's get straight into how to do that. There are two steps. The first step is to clean the top, and the second step will be how to protect the top and slow that patina from forming in the future. Okay, step one, cleaning. This is a little bit complicated. I will show you three different methods on how to clean your tops. And first, what we'll have to do is divide them into two groups depending on the metals. The first group of metal is stainless steel and titanium. This is very easy to clean. If you just want to get rid of finger marks, just use a microfiber cloth, give it a good wipe. And if it's more dirty than that, use soap and water, give it a good wash, and afterwards just dry it out completely. The second group of metals will be all the metals that contain copper. Copper itself, brass or bronze, they will form a patina, and I'm going to show you how to get that patina off. There are three methods to do this. The first method is pretty simple, and that is do not clean the top in the first place. This is my Tinker top. I've never cleaned it, and it is forming a beautiful dark grey patina. I like it that way, and over time it will just become darker and darker. So this one I simply do not clean. The second method I'm going to show you is using a weak acid solution to clean your copper. You might have heard of some people using tomato ketchup to clean their tops. The reason this works is that two of the ingredients in ketchup is vinegar and salt. I don't like using ketchup, it gets a little bit messy. So I'm just going to show you how to use vinegar and salt and do that and get exactly the same results. You'll need a plastic or a glass container, and then some distilled white vinegar and just some plain table salt. Put about half a cup of vinegar in your container, add to that about 2 teaspoons of salt, and then you're going to have to stir it for approximately 2 minutes and make sure that all the salt has dissolved completely and that the liquid goes a clear color again. To show you how well this works, I'm just going to take a copper coin that has a bit of patina on it, and I'm going to put it halfway into that solution, and within a few seconds you'll see that the patina comes off and the copper comes back to its original shine. As simple as that. Same principle apply with the top. I'll put it in, give it a good spin, and only about 5 to 10 seconds. If the top is really dirty, you can use a toothbrush and just help that patina come off from the top, but generally 20 seconds should be enough to get all the patina off. Once you're happy with the shine, take the top out of the acid, and now, very important, you have to neutralize it and get all the acid off it. The easiest way to do that will be to just put it under running water for about 1 to 2 minutes and give it a really good rinse. Okay, so I gave the top a really good rinse under running tap water and a slight pat dry, but there's still a little bit of water in there. So the next step is extremely important. You have to dry out that top completely. Now I find the best way to do that is to use a hair dryer with some heat, and 2 to 3 minutes should be sufficient. Other options you have is to put it on a dehumidifier or near a fan, and then I'll leave it about 15 to 20 minutes and just make sure that that top is completely dry. Okay, that was method number 2, using a weak acid solution. The third method, which is the hardest one, but sometimes you do get really good results, is to use a product specifically made to clean these types of metal. I'll quickly run through the products that I use. My go-to product is Cape Cod metal polishing cloths. Very good product, highly recommended. Inside the tin is these little cloths. The product is on the cloth. You wipe the product onto your top and then use a microfiber cloth to buff it out. It takes a fair amount of time to do that, but the results can be pretty good. If I find that there's still some stains on the copper that I cannot remove with Cape Cod, I'll go over to Brasso. I use this product a lot. It is a little bit more abrasive than Cape Cod, and therefore it will get rid of more patina, but the process for cleaning the top is exactly the same. And the last product I use is a silver polish. This works just as well on copper and brass. It's the least abrasive of the three, and I find on a highly polished top that works pretty good. The biggest problem with method number 3 is that some billet spin tops are so complicated, it's just really hard to get the product in and out of the parts of the top. I use a lot of Q-tips. I also use these gun cleaning picks, and I just wrap my microfiber cloth over that, and that helps me to get inside all the nooks and crannies. Just one last word on cleaning, and that is to mention the exotic materials. This navigator has Damascus steel. It is stainless. I will clean that the same way as I clean stainless steel, and the same would go for Damascus. Cleaning of superconductor. If you want to clean the copper in superconductor, just use any of the methods I've showed you. And the last odd one out would be Makumi. Makumi is a little bit harder. It does contain copper, but I actually never ever clean Makumi. I find that the copper and the patina that it forms will actually make the Makumi look so much better over time. Okay, that concludes cleaning your tops. Let's move on to step number 2, which is protecting your tops. We now have all these nice and clean tops. I'm going to show you what to do to try and keep them nice and shiny for as long as possible. It's a fairly simple process. What we're going to do is we're going to put a thin layer of wax on the metal. This will do two things. It will prevent the oil on your hand to reach the metal, and it will also slow down the oxidation and thereby slowing down the process of the patina forming. Again, there are different products available to do this. My favorite one is Renaissance wax. Others you can use is EDCI, and also Frog Loop will work pretty well. To use it, simply follow the instructions on the container. Basically, you're going to put a little bit of wax on the top, cover the whole top, and then you have to buff it out with a microfiber cloth. Again, this gets a little bit tricky with some billet spin tops. What you can use is one soft bristle toothbrush to get the wax in, and use a different one just to buff it out. To get the wax off the toothbrush, just run it under nice hot water. It will come straight off. Another little trick that I find works really well is if you heat up the top a little bit before applying the wax, You can use a hairdryer or just simply put it in direct sunlight, and that bit of extra heat will just help the wax flow into all the nooks and crannies of the top a lot easier. Well, that concludes what I wanted to show you today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something new today. And if you have any comments, please feel free to do so. And enjoy your billet spin tops. Thank you for watching.